I thought you quit in the last video.
I did, but we have a problem and you were the only one who can fix it.
What is it?
That little girl blew up the Earth, and now Treyarch is releasing dog shit maps to start BO2.
Oh god, it's worse than I thought. We have to stop this, come on. Get on this bus with me.
Where are we going?
Where it all started. Green Run.
Fuck.
Like, let me out!
I'm playing Eurogen games that are more sober than this. Alright, it's being a fucker now. Who's that? Y'all seen this dude over there?
Yeah.
Bro, ship him to LA, bro. LeBron needs help.
Transit is bad.
Coming in at number 1 on our top 5 worst zombie maps of all time, we have Transit.
Die Rise needs a remaster.
Take a stand, join the cause, and make this billboard happen.
Buried, Mob, and Origins are elite.
But Origins is always going to be my number 1.
These 3 opinions have near unanimous approval in the COD Zombies community. So are they correct, or does everyone just have brain rot from the Smith plays? I'm gonna be honest, it's probably a little bit of both, but either way, let's go back in time to find out. It's November 2012. Everyone's really mad about Coney, even though he's still vibing over a decade later. You can't go anywhere without hearing Gangnam Style, and Black Ops 2 is about to shatter some fucking records. Of note for us, Zombies is bigger than it's ever been. We got 3 reveal trailers: Campaign, Multiplayer, and Zombies. For the first time ever, this isn't just a side mode, it's actually a core part of the game. But that's not the only reason we're excited. BO1 ended with a massive cliffhanger. Richtofen controls the zombies now, and Samantha's dad told us to blow up the Earth. Okay. BO1 left us wanting more of the same, and naturally we had a lot of questions. But once the game dropped, we quickly found out those questions just weren't getting answered, and things were going to be very different in BO2. And it started in the most patriotic, red-blooded American way possible: a shitty public transportation system. So let's boot up Transit. It takes about 5 seconds to realize Transit is just built different. A bus is honking at you, the zombies are asleep, and Samantha's dad is yelling at you to build shit.
There's a workbench?
But once you do build the turbine,
What the fuck is this thing?
you can venture out of spawn and things will surely come back to Earth. Right?
Hell no!
So here's the thing, over the last 4 years, Zombies has been relatively cohesive. There's been one admittedly convoluted storyline, one main cast, and for the most part similar mechanics between maps, but for better or worse, Transit throws all that out the window.
Full buster, bro. Wait, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Let's start with the layout. It's essentially just a thin circular trail. At face value, it's like 5 times bigger than anything before it, but there are only a few truly playable areas and they're spread out like islands. Everywhere else, the floor is lava and there's denizens.
Wait, Dan, I thought you were playing Zombies.
Yeah, apparently.
Denizens and lava? Bro, that shit is a ball.
So in a casual run with friends, just take the bus, right? It has 5 stops around the map, each with a few things to do. Diner has the box, farm has the fridge, power station has like power, town has jug, and the bus depot has the turbine. Oh, and each of those places also has a buildable. So on paper, you should be able to get fully set up in one loop, except the bus is on its own schedule. At each location, it's leaving with or without you after 90 seconds. So here's how a casual run normally goes. After the first few rounds, you catch the bus to Diner. In a perfect run, you'd build the shield, get the bus mod out of the shed, and get a box spin in. But that never happens, right? So you end up getting back on the bus broke, going to farm.
Like, let me out!
But you don't even have points to open it, so you just hang out outside the gate until the bus leaves for power. Where hopefully it doesn't leave you while you're running through and building the switch.
Oh god, why did you close the door?
And if you get lucky, you can finally head to town. The most important location on the map with the most important buyable, Jug. But you generally can't afford it yet, so you've got to stay here to save up even as the bus leaves you. Let's pause real quick. Right here is where the average game derails. There are no guns to buy in town, and everybody's just gonna run out of ammo before the bus makes it back. So instead, everyone kind of just scatters into the fog and slowly dies out.
Okay. What is that? I'm gonna attack my denizens!
Don't get me wrong, there's a lot more to Transit than that, but for the average player at launch, that's pretty much it, man. And I can't say I blame them because a guide is pretty much a requirement now, even for things that were super accessible in previous games. But for as many problems as this gameplay loop has, it's honestly just really fucking fun. It can be frustrating as hell, but in a chaotic way that creates some really fun moments.
What are the denizens?
Oh, take you to the green light!
No, I can't make it, man.
It's also one of those maps that's more satisfying as you learn it. Maybe I'm just a freak, but I really enjoy the process of building the jet gun. You've got to learn the right routes to run through the fog, find the parts, and bring them back to town. The whole process takes forever, but the more you do it, the more efficient you become. And this process just gets you the best weapon of all time. This thing is just so fucking cool, bro. It kills forever and doesn't even take up a weapon slot.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
And it's broken. As a whole, Transit definitely didn't get buildables right. You should be able to carry more than one part, and in my opinion, you should be able to carry at least 2 buildables. It's also absolutely insane that something that takes an hour to build can just break. But still, I feel like we forget this might be the single most influential change in Zombies history. This idea is what separates the early survival-based maps from the more modern quest-based ones. And sure, there's an argument to be made about whether that change is good. It definitely alienated part of the player base, but this was truly the start of that shift. Maps like Origins, Shadows, and Dreisendrach are all-timers, but none of them happened without Transit taking the risks it did. And honestly, the map just doesn't get enough credit for that. Transit's in a weird spot because it's iconic as hell. My dude Andrew has left a comment on every single video I've made about Transit being the best map of all time. And there are plenty of people like him, which makes sense. It's a launch map, and all of us have good memories with our friends here. But still, there are even more people who just fucking hate it. And I would argue that a lot of the times the hate goes just a little bit too far. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I think the reason people hate this map is it's just hella indecisive. Transit took steps away from being a survival map, but it also didn't fully buy into being a quest map. After the first bus loop, it's really not fun casually anymore, but the quests are also mind-numbing. Just pack-a-punching is an obscure and annoying process. You've got to put a turbine down at this specific spot at Power Station, then run back to spawn, get another turbine, run to town, hope your turbine doesn't break in the meantime, throw some grenades, place another turbine, and finally build the machine. This sucks as is, but the biggest problem is you need to do the turbine thing every single time you want to access path, which is just absolutely insane.
I hate it here!
And things don't really get much better when you do the main quest.
I will country roads, take me home to the place.
It literally just consists of hours of running through the fog and then sitting in a cornfield.
Oh boy.
Honestly, there's only one good thing I can say about this, and that's that there's 2 different versions of it. It's really cool that they let us pick sides between Richtofen and Maxis, but also part of me thinks that maybe they should have just put their energy into one main quest instead of 2 that are both really shitty. Like, this took me forever to complete, and not because it was hard, but because it took forever for me to get the motivation to actually finish it. It's not challenging, it's not fun, it's not interesting, it really just doesn't have anything going for it.
Why didn't the zombies eventually just give up, get bored, and fall over?
Even the steps are shit. You have to turn the power on, then turn the power off, then run into the cornfield to find this pylon.
I thought this was a modern game.
Then you have to place a few turbines and wait for Avogadro to spawn. Which we didn't even talk about him, but he's one of the worst boss zombies of all time. And once he does, you have to use specific weapons to kill him and then place another turbine. The whole thing is just boring.
Wait, that's it? That's the whole Easter egg?
And I feel like a lot of people give Transit a pass on the Easter egg because it's like one of the first ones they played. But even in 2012, Treyarch had made 3 Easter eggs significantly better than this. Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, and Moon all wiped the floor with Transit. Honestly, even Ascension is better than this, and that's really sad to say because at this point in time, the Easter egg community was really growing. But this was a huge setback for it.
This map makes me appreciate Moon. I've actually just totally 180 on Moon. I think Moon's a good map.
But for as bad as Transit can be, there are also some really cool secrets and new features. The bank and fridge were both game-changing. Permaperks also added some much-needed mystery to the game's mechanics at launch. It was also really cool just finding some of the hidden areas. I have a vivid memory of being blown away the first time I ran through the corn maze and stumbled into Noct. But the best thing the devs did when making Transit is they really leaned into that chaos factor.
Ow, my ass! I'm alone? I'm fucking terrified? I don't know what's happening. What are those in fetuses?
I got you. Keep fucking with me. See if I don't crash this bus and kill you all.
You can annoy the fuck out of the bus driver Ted and he'll eventually just kick you off and lock the doors.
Fuck you! Get your ass off my bus!
Oh no!
Oh no! I'm just fucking stuck in forward, bro. No, let me in.
Stranding not just you, but also your friends. And really, man, that's what defines Transit. Everyone says this map would be better without the fog and the denizens, but I'm serious. Try a mod that takes it away, and the map loses all character. And that's why, if they ever redo it, I hope it's as an Outbreak map. Transit would be a banger in a mode that allows players to just really lean into that chaos factor and do whatever the hell they want. That's one of the reasons why I really do think Transit was ahead of its time, but that doesn't mean it was good when it was made. So let's go through ratings real quick. It gets a 7 for reception, which would be lower if it wasn't a launch map, 8 for innovation because of all the new features, 1 for hardcore gameplay, 8 for casual, and a 1 for setting because it's all kind of just gray. Overall, that gives us a 5, which is in the D tier. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, but also you should probably subscribe because you're in the 10% of people who don't click off the video after I give the ratings. So if you're still here, I think that deserves a subscribe, or maybe you just fell asleep, whatever. But for those of you who have been here, first of all, I'm so sorry that this took like 3 months. I got a little ambitious. I was going to try to do all of BO2 in one video, and my computer really didn't like that. But more than that, I'm just going to like stop promising any timeline when it comes to videos. My life is just getting a little more busy between work, and we got a new dog who's a puppy. So at least for now, so I can like ensure the videos are a little better quality, I'm just gonna upload things when they're ready. But in between, I think I'm gonna stream a little bit more. I did it this morning and it was a lot of fun just talking to y'all. And if you ever want an update, you can also just join the Discord and just like tag me, ask me for an update. I'll let you know what's going on, you know? But for those of you who are new here, we like to do a poll in this segment. So this time around, I asked, what's the worst map in BO2? The winner, not really shocking, it's Transit. That was 45%. I thought it would get like above 50, but 45% is like a decent chunk. To me, the really shocking one is 13% said Ether, and I don't think any of them were picking for Buried, you know? It's probably a bunch of people who were alienated by Mob and Origins, which totally makes sense. Those maps were divisive, they were not for everyone. Because once those maps came out, zombies changed forever, right? There's no denying that. But we'll get into that when we get into it, right? But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.